When Meghan married Harry, a magical mix of love, celebrity and ceremony swept across the world. And another mix also attracted plenty of comment too.
She's an American who describes herself as mixed race.
Whose mother is African American and whose father is Caucasian.
And her heritage has been the source of much comment even before the engagement.
There's power in love.
When I saw that it was her, I was like, whoa.
For many of us, we wouldn't necessarily even notice a mixed-race relationship. It's just not a thing to think about. But then again, the data shows only 1 in 14 relationships in England and Wales are mixed. And over a third of white people would mind if a family member married a Muslim. So maybe it's time to hear from those in interracial relationships themselves.
You notice the stares at first. It's 2 young kids and like one's a white guy with a black girl.
This is my first interracial relationship. I've only been with white girls before.
From the differences.
My dad goes, "Do you have samosas for Christmas dinner?" And I just sort of sunk back. I was like, "Oh no, don't ask that."
Yeah, it's not spicy. You think anything's spicy?
To the prejudice.
It was very, very degrading, racially degrading.
And much funnier moments.
You might be a man, how do you know she's not a man? And
We met on Tinder, which is something that I hate admitting.
I was younger. He was in year 9 and I was in year 7, so
I didn't really see her.
Yeah, no, you can't be. That age gap wasn't good.
We actually met through Snapchat back in the day.
when I came out of the airport and she was standing there and I saw her, I instantly knew she was the one. There was no thought in my mind that she could be anything else other than my wife.
Thought I was punching a little bit like that in my league, but I thought fortune favours the brave.
4 days later, I proposed to her whilst on holiday.
And then we just started talking, and then literally it was like after talking, then we went, like met up with each other, and then from then.
Obviously, I was physically attracted to her from that picture. I thought I'm going to add her and hopefully slide in the DMs one day.
Sometimes we do get funny looks if we're in like the middle of Ollie's village, but I think people are just more looking. But no one's ever said anything.
Yeah, and I think that's more out of. I don't think it's out of like being horrible or anything. It's more of a case they just don't see it. Like, it's literally just in the middle of nowhere, a little village in Norfolk that just doesn't have. It just isn't diverse at all. There's just
no, it's not at all.
Yeah, and I don't think it's anybody's fault. It's just out of the way in the middle of nowhere.
Just the unknown.
Yeah, just the unknown.
When there was a lot of terrorist attacks in London and Manchester, there was a lot of rhetoric about like, oh, there's them and then there's us, and it kind of I felt a bit uncomfortable sitting around people talking, and I don't know whether it's because people don't perhaps identify me as somebody of mixed race, because I'm obviously a lot of our friends are white and I'm in that group, but yeah, it makes me feel really uncomfortable when there's like a divide that people talk about so obviously, and I think that's maybe something that I've noticed more in rural Norfolk than I have like in my university, for example.
I think like you notice the stares at first, but then like when you get so much down the line, you don't tend to notice it as often, especially because we're so young as well. So like it's two young kids and like one's a white guy with a black girl, and then probably his hair as well, because it wasn't even just dreadlocks, it was like puffy dreadlocks.
Yeah,
so,
like really messy dreadlocks. But I think Nurse is beautiful as well, so I think every bloke is staring at her anyway. So.
I think you're crazy.
I've noticed a difference in the types of looks that we can get. We get much more stares and people looking and almost nudging the person that they're with to say, look. And surprisingly, I've noticed this more in London than I have in Surrey, where we live. Maybe it is more to do with the fact that we are an interracial couple as opposed to two girls.
I think as well, additionally, those glances and those looks and those nudges and those little whispers don't always come from white people. They pretty much always come from black people.
Yeah.
Usually black girls. Black men just have stared at us a lot. But we've had a lot of looks from people who are not white, noticing it and things like that, which, yeah.
My dad jokes and is like, oh, I'd like you to bring home a nice Ismaili boy for Munira, but I know he's always teasing me. He's just joking. I think both of our parents have been really open and been like, as long as you're happy, then that's all we're happy for.
A few friends of mine were like, oh, she's only marrying you for the money, or she might be a man, how do you know she's not a man? And
we went out with Mum and Dad to go for a walk on the beach, and my dad goes, oh, what was it? It was, do you have samosas for Christmas dinner? And I just sort of sunk back. I was like, oh no, don't ask that.
Although my mum's not the most traditional Muslim woman, my brother and sister certainly are, and my grandparents and my aunties and my cousins, and none of them know that I'm gay. And my brother and my sister and my mum do, but I think that's the biggest thing for them, rather than the fact that I'm with a white woman. It's the fact that I'm with a woman, full stop. So there's been certain barriers there, but potentially for other reasons. Yeah.
I'm probably the first non-white person that all his parents have ever got to know, living
definitely.
in like rural Norfolk. They don't have a lot of interaction with people from different backgrounds. It's mainly white people that they know. So I don't think David didn't mean that in a horrible way. He just meant it as I don't think he was joking. I genuinely think he was asking me whether I had samosas for Christmas dinner. But I didn't. No, we have a roast. I can confirm.
My friends and family were thrilled when they know that I will be marrying an Englishman, and they kept telling me that make a lot of babies. And to be honest, I was very enthusiastic to have gorgeous mixed babies.
Yeah.
But you were very nervous about meeting my grandma, weren't you?
Yeah.
And she's 92, brought up in the valleys in South Wales, like, you don't really have any races there, let alone black people and interracial relationships. But she was absolutely fine, wasn't she? And you were swinging around on the stools in the kitchen after 10 minutes, and like she was actually asking like about Zimbabwe and about your culture and things like that. She was like, and then I saw her 2 days after, and she was like, "Oh, he's such a nice boy, and it was so nice, and he's so interesting." I was like, "Yes, we're in."
So far, our couples have had largely positive reactions to their relationships, but that's not always the case.
I don't know if it was race or religion, to be honest. I'm not quite sure. They were Sikh.
We've agreed not to reveal this woman's identity. She's white British and split with her Asian boyfriend of 3 years after his family refused to accept her because of her race.
So we discussed living together and the potentials of that. He went away to talk to his family, but they made it clear to him that that wasn't going to be allowed. And then that was the end of the relationship, because obviously we both realised that there was no future.
After the relationship ended, she received treatment for depression.
I found it really difficult to come to terms with the fact that my relationship was ended by someone other than myself, the person that I was in a relationship with.
Yaz is half Iranian, half Thai. She eventually called time on her relationship with her white British boyfriend after coming across a message. One of his friends used a derogatory term to describe her.
It was very, very degrading, racially degrading, and what really hurt me was that he didn't defend me or say, no, you shouldn't say things like this. He just went lol, 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 and laughed along with them. I don't know why I endured it for so long.
Yaz wasn't put off by the experience, as like her ex, her current partner is white.
And I just think that it's all part of life, it's all part of experiences, and that all the experience that you have in life makes you what you are today. You are the sum total of everything that's happened to you in your life, and whether it's a good experience or a bad experience, I really appreciate it because it's made me the stronger woman that I am today.
Ugandan-born Silva met Kaz while out clubbing in Glasgow. After seeing each other for a couple of years, they travelled to Africa to meet his family.
The difficulties probably started with Silva and I when I went to Uganda with him to meet his family over Christmas. And we spent a few days in the capital and then the majority of it in the village with all his aunts and uncles and cousins and grandparents and whatnot. And I guess I just didn't realise how many there were going to be.
I think I put a lot of expectation on it. Well, I didn't think I did, but I think subconsciously, to some degree, I did.
I've been to Africa before in villages with no running water and stuff, but I think it felt a bit more intense because I was almost like kind of paraded as the girlfriend of Silvers, which I think really says you're the wife rather than this is casual. So yeah, it was maybe a bit too intense for us at that stage.
I don't even think we have a word for girlfriend, right? It's friend, wife. There's no middle. Right? There's no middle, right? There's no middle.
Unfortunately, it wasn't too long after Silver and I had been to Uganda that we decided to break up, go separate ways.
Obviously it was hurtful though, I mean, it was really hurtful.
There are things that are on the barbecue sometimes that are very African, like chicken feet were on the barbecue the other day, which I, funny enough, did not try.
You don't really cook, but he doesn't season whatever he does.
No, oh yeah, chicken, like just throw it straight in the pan. Boom,
no,
done.
that can't be done. Like really,
bit of salt, bit of
it
pepper.
can't be done. Like
Done.
I don't know. I physically can't do it. Like I've tried, but like my hand slips and like I still put something in it.
And it gets spicy.
Yeah, it's not spicy. You think anything's spicy?
Oh, something that really irritates me about Cash is the stereotypical black man time.
My parents, with me and my older sister, have both been quite academically focused. School was always pushed as something really important to us.
Yeah, my parents didn't really push. They just wanted me to be happy, basically. Standard.
Not that my parents didn't.
No, but like really sort of happy to do. They were happy to push. Well, they didn't push. They were just happy for me to do whatever I liked, really. And I was just desperate to drive a tractor.
I'll be like, okay, I'm ready to go. Okay, I just need to put my socks and shoes on.
It's because she won't be ready. She'll say she's ready, but she's not ready as well. Nice. So, if that is true.
When it comes to having children, though, I think that's where we might find slight difficulties that we maybe haven't encountered before. In that, you know, it could turn out that I'm the mother of 2 white children who, you know, don't look anything like me. But I think that's something that we will tackle as a family unit, and I think it's something that is tackleable. You know, it's not something that is impossible to do.
Yeah.
But I guess time will only tell.
I learned the other day that a Zimbabwean wife is expected to leave the wedding party early. And then she goes back, goes to the in-laws' house, is accepted in, and then wakes up the next day and is apparently supposed to clean the house and cook everyone breakfast and things like that. I was like, that will not be happening. I was like, I will be in bed, I'll be getting room service, and I'll be hungover. And also, I will not be leaving my wedding party early.
So future kids have to know about their culture. There'll be half of it, so they have to know where half of their life comes from. But I think I'll take care of Jamaican teaching.
Okay.
But Gaz can teach him how to ride a dirt bike. I don't know how to do that.
I'm looking forward to be a citizen in this beautiful country, and yeah, you're right that I want to study in one of the universities here and to have a stable job in the future.
In terms of wedding, our wedding day can be whatever we want it to be. It's certainly going to be unconventional. Part of that is our cultural background, and part of that is us being an interracial couple, which I think is just going to make it completely unique.
Data about interracial couples in England and Wales is only published every 10 years as part of the census, with the last in 2011. Then, only 7% of couples living together were interracial, but that was an increase on the previous stats, and the figure now is likely to be higher.
For me, the best things about interracial couple, you are always learning from each other's differences and culture.
The best thing I think about being in an interracial couple is the fact that we are very different.
It's nice to know that I'm making a difference as well. I mean, I've never identified myself as like a strongly mixed race Indian woman, but it's nice to know that I'm the first mixed race person all these parents have got to know, and I'm able to give them like a good impression.
I love my girlfriend's culture, food, music. It's completely changed my life.
For some, there's still prejudice, abuse, and hurdles too big to overcome. But most people navigate family reactions, food differences, stereotypes, and being stared at with no real problem. Which brings us nicely back to Kaz and Silva.
This is all weird.
Okay.
I think when we came back from Uganda, I felt, well, when I started getting over it, I kind of thought, started seeing things from your perspective a bit.
Yeah.
It was a bit more of, well, maybe, okay, I could be wrong.
I appreciated that I maybe didn't accept how much a big deal it was bringing somebody to Uganda, because that's a really big thing to do. Whereas I think I maybe thought it was more a holiday, and I think Silva could appreciate that actually it was also quite an intense thing for me. So
yeah, which I did not consider. I would say I wouldn't know. I don't know what I would want my future with her to be about. I'd say I want it to be with her, if you know what I mean. I don't know if it's marriage, I don't know if it's traveling, I don't know if it's nice, just us two, that's it.